Hello, and welcome to my presentation on my book review for the final portion of my book. And I decided to finish off and read The Teacher Wars, A History of America's Most Battled Impression by Donna Goldstein. And it was a very interesting book to read. And so, would I recommend it to people to read? That really comes down to what type of person you are. If you like reading a book about history just for dates and names and things that specifically happened, um, then I would recommend the book for you. Because this is a very reported type book to me. It seemed very, this is what happened, this is how it went, and that didn't really go well for me. I really prefer listening to a story, instead of just here's dates and numbers. So if you wanted an actual story, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this book to you. Um, but for the book itself, like I said, it is very history based. It goes from the very beginning of teaching to absolutely right now. It touches on pretty much everything you can think of. It goes through Brown versus the Board. It goes through how women got integrated in. It talked over how there were people trying to make the system for education better, and then there are people who are trying to make it worse. And it was really interesting, and a lot of it really was just talking about politics. And the politics to me were one of the more interesting portions of this. I was interested to read about all of the politicians and presidents and all of the people in our national or local councils who were trying to either make the system better or just leave the system as it is. There were a lot of times where they were saying that women shouldn't be teachers because, well, why would we trust them with our students? Or people were saying, well, they should be teachers because they're more effeminate and they're better with the children. Um, and then there were interesting outrages over who was going to help the students learn, or who could design the best curriculum, whether it should be what the parents want the students to learn or what the teachers believe that the students will learn. And then whether the teachers should be teaching for students to be able to take good tests, or whether they should be helping students get good test grades um, for these national exams so that they can prove how good of teachers they are. And it's really just interesting because everyone's just trying to prove a point and keep their head above water. Um, and these two quotes that Donna said are very interesting because they both talk about both of these. So the teachers who do work that is both teachers do work that is both personal and political, and so they work with the children in order to they build this bond with those students, and then the political side of that is trying to deal with the teachers and trying to deal with the parents and with their superiors and everyone around them. And so that's a lot to handle for one person. And then also, when Donna says, what's more, veteran teachers who work long term in high poverty area schools with low test scores are actually more effective at raising student achievement than is the rotating cast of inexperienced teachers who try these jobs out but flee after 1 to 3 years. Which is interesting because it really proves the point that if people aren't dedicated to these schools, they're not going to be effective teachers and they're not going to help the students learn. They're going to just show up, uh, teach what they're told to teach, and then move on as soon as they can. And so, to finish off, I really just want to push anyone who is listening to this, just that if you are going to be a teacher, you gotta push yourself to be better, and you want to try to stay with those students and help them learn, because if you aren't dedicated, then how can they be dedicated? Thank you.